Hey guys, it's Adelie. So sorry for the random weird hiatus there for a month and a half between videos. I'm not gonna bore you with all the nitty-gritty details like sometimes I tend to fall into the habit of doing, but basically it was just school and work and stress and gross final semester before graduation stuff that sort of caught me up, as well as just sheer laziness that has kept me from doing new videos about just vlogs and fun things and stuff. I don't know. As well as Steven Universe also being on hiatus, since that's my main series focus on this channel. That being on hiatus kind of derails a little bit of the energy for a bit, but that's really no excuse since I started Adelie on animation, and really am looking forward to continuing that shortly. That series is not going anywhere. I have way too many ideas for it and just basically need to get off my butt and do it. But in the theme of sort of breaking hiatuses and Steven Universe currently enduring one of its longer hiatuses right now, I figured what better way to sort of come back from a hiatus than to talk about how to endure a hiatus. I mean, a lot of Steven Universe fans, myself included, are having to sort of grapple with this, and I get questions like this a lot on the Crystal Gems blog on Tumblr, so I figured I'd share some of my tried and true methods for busting out the hiatus blues. I'd say my first method for doing so would be to, and this is probably a lot of people's first instinct as well, and I think it's the right one, maybe, I don't know, and that sort of step is to find a new animated series or just any other form of media to sort of replace what is currently not being produced. I have a huge list of favorite animated series, and I'm just going to really quickly list off some of the titles, and you can check them out on your own, and I've also got a link to a Tumblr post about them and what I think makes them all so special. The first series I'd say is Motor City. That was a series that was on Disney XD. It's got one season, well worth the watch. It's like my personal Firefly. The Weekenders, that was an old show way back when I was around the age that most kids are watching Steven Universe now, and that was on Disney, or maybe Toon Disney, one of the two, and that's a really fun show too. It's sort of Friends-like, I'd say. Invader Zim, total classic Nicktoon. Not a personal favorite of mine, if we're being honest, but I feel like it's so classic and has such a culty vibe around it that I really can't pass it up as far as like a recommendation goes. Over the Garden Wall, any big Cartoon Network fan will be familiar with this mini-series, but if you still haven't checked it out, please do. It's so worth your time because it's that mini-series sort of length. It's a really great thing to just fill in when you've got the time and don't want to commit to a full series. Sailor Moon, again, another total classic as far as animated series go, and this one being an anime. If you like some of the fun, flirty elements of Steven Universe that sort of come up, like him leaping dramatically with roses falling, as well as sort of the more silly, random things like Amethyst and eating gags, you'll probably like Sailor Moon and Usagi and Tuxedo Mask and all that fun stuff. Avatar: The Last Airbender as well as The Legend of Korra are also really big recommendations for me. Those two are some of the most, I'd say at this point, new classic animated series of this age, and it's just so good. Word of warning, never watch the M. Night Shyamalan movie. If anything, pretend it doesn't exist like I do. Bob's Burgers, this is for more of an audience that's more my age, but I think kids in high school and maybe upper middle school, it's totally okay for them to watch too. It's got more of an adult humor, but it's definitely not to, I'd say, Family Guy levels. It's maybe around a Simpsons level. But it's really fun, really light, family humor, lots of teen awkwardness, things like that. I think it's well worth a look out, and it's on Netflix too, so why not? Justice League Unlimited, this is sort of going off towards the Motor City vibe, but I'm a big superhero fan, and Justice League Unlimited and how it introduces so many different superheroes like Green Arrow and the Flash and great heroes like that. Well, the Flash was in Justice League, but you know what, whatever. There's lots of heroes to choose from in Justice League Unlimited, and it's sort of this fun series that I think if you're at all fans of some of the stuff that's going on in the CW with the Flash, and that there's like that Heroes of Tomorrow show. Is that a show? I keep seeing it advertised everywhere and it looks weird. I don't know. I can't give you any recommendations on those series, but like The Flash or Arrow, I personally don't like those shows, but I love Justice League, and that's maybe because it's more of the core classic DC comics based stuff, sort of. I feel like the Batman animated series or even the Superman animated series, like those are just Justice League Unlimited is a home run for you probably. And even if you were never really big fans of those, check it out. Batman Beyond, totally same sort of deal with Justice League Unlimited. If you like superheroes and you like Batman, you'll like Batman Beyond. Terry McGinnis, the new Batman, is super cool, super nerdy at the same time, and is one of my favorite heroes of all time. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is a huge favorite anime of mine. It's dark and twisty, but has such heart and light and strength with it, and it's just got these great characters, these fun gags, and a narrative that is just so compelling that you want to see everyone succeed that needs to succeed in it. Word of warning, it is quite violent at times and can be pretty upsetting very fast. So be aware if maybe you react emotionally towards series and don't want your heart broken within maybe the 3rd episode, this might not be the one for you. But I think it's a kind of good heartbreak, you know? Is that a possible thing? I don't know. And last but not least, I would say Adventure Time. My dear BMO over here, that is absolutely worth your while. It's got a great library of episodes, a huge volume of episodes as well. Obviously, if you like Steven Universe, there's a very good chance you're gonna like Adventure Time. So check it out. I know I have a lot of catching up to do for that series, but timing and time management is apparently not a strength of mine this semester. No! I'm usually so good at it. So yeah, finding a show to replace the show that's missing is a potential solution there. Another solution that I sort of look for as a fan when a series is in hiatus mode, and I think this is another like sort of go-to one, is to look for fan art, be it fan fiction or just visual graphic arts or illustrations, comics, fun things like that. Just ways to get into a fandom community, if it's a community that you feel comfortable in, I think is a great way to sort of keep your interest for a series up and to sort of stay alert on any updates and things like that that pertain to your series. Because I know sometimes if I haven't been in a fandom, I'll totally miss out that a series has returned or that there's new episodes coming shortly. And so when they come up, I'm like, what? No one told me. And no one told me because I wasn't part of a fan community or paid attention to one for that matter. So I think getting involved and sort of discussing a show with friends, be it online or in person, is really well worth your while if you're wanting to sort of stay in touch with why you love that series in the first place on a regular basis, when it's not constantly present on your screen to remind you why you like it so much. It's another way, I would say, and this is unfortunately not a way to stay connected with every series, because not every series seems to sort of go the merchandising route, but that is to stay connected with merchandise. I have a feeling that I got this little Steven Universe largely because I really miss Steven right now. But it's a weird sort of way to stay in tap with why you like the fandom in a similar way that fan communities can sort of uplift you a little bit. It's nice little reminders, specifically things like books, like The Guide to the Crystal Gems. Those are great ways to sort of tap into aspects of fandom that are canon or in some ways are related to the media directly in the way that fan art and fan fictions aren't. Art books are another great way to stay connected if those are available. Unfortunately, series I find don't get as much attention in the way of art books that films do, but it's always worth looking out for. I know Avatar has had art books before, different things like that. So yeah, definitely check into what kind of merchandise is available for a series that you like and see if that's a way that can really continue your love and adoration for the show, if you can afford it. Sometimes looking at merchandise on Amazon is enough for me, and it actually kind of gets a little sad because I start to feel like I'm like window shopping and like pressing my face up against the glass being like, why? So I don't know, maybe that'll work for you too. I think maybe one of my final ways to stay in touch is to reach out on other social media to creators and content creators that are associated with your series that you really like. You can find a ton of fantastic artists that work in animation for your favorite series, be it Adventure Time, Steven Universe, Gravity Falls. I know that is since gone off the air, but there's so many great creators that were a part of those series and are so interesting and are just as funny as that series. And those creators are so funny and so great to follow on their social media if they're available there, because they're the backbone of their series. Their personalities and their artistic sensibility is what has gone into the series. And if you enjoyed the series and watching it, you're very likely going to enjoy their personality and how they portray it on social media. That's not a universal. I'm sure there's going to be some content creators out there that are part of your favorite series that maybe you don't like. Like, for example, Matt Burnett, one of the writers for Steven Universe, his sense of humor is like my favorite thing in the world, but for other people it might rub them the wrong way, and that's totally okay. You can still like Steven Universe, but maybe not care for Matt Burnett's sense of humor. Totally fine. Totally okay. Although I don't really understand why you wouldn't like it. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Everyone likes different things. But that for me is a great way to stay in touch with a series. Seeing what the creators are up to, hearing about their creative process is so interesting to me as a writer and as an illustrator myself. So yeah, I would highly recommend that. Word of warning, like huge word of warning. If you are following these content creators, do not harass them about when their series is returning. 9 times out of 10, they have no idea. And so sending them millions upon millions of messages asking when Steven Universe, Adventure Time, etc. is returning is abusive and rude and just not cool, because they want their series to be on the air just as much as you do. So don't bother the crap out of content creators, because they want their show online too. And reminding them that it's not, with millions of messages asking where the show went, is just not cool. Don't do it. So those are some of my tried and true methods for busting out the blues of a hiatus, sort of finding new series, finding fan communities, finding fun merchandise that can keep your spirits up, as well as connecting with content creators that are directly associated with the series that you love. If you guys have any fun ways to sort of beat the fandom blues, let me know in a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'll hopefully be back next week with the Adelian animation that I promised for a really, really stupid long time. It'll be Whisper of the Heart that I'll be assessing and reviewing and breaking down. And after that, I have planned Only Yesterday, which has just recently gotten an English language dub. With the absolutely lovely Daisy Ridley, if anyone's interested in that. So I'm really excited to try and see if I can see that, or if not, to watch the tried and true Japanese subbed version, because that one's great too. So until then, I'll see you guys next time with Adelian animation. Alright, bye guys!